Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing amazingly well. It is a Tuesday morning, and unfortunately, I'm not as perky. I don't feel overly perky this morning, but I am still here. And this weather, I can tell that fall is on the way because I could tell that I'm like a walking barometer at times. But the weather is kind of kicking my butt right now. So not feeling too perky, but we're still going to talk about a few things. So let's go ahead and start sharing this out. And for those of you who are in right now, we are going to talk about help. I cannot find speaking gigs. Now, if you know me by now, if you've been listening, you've been watching the show, I talk about speaking as a way to market your business. It has worked for me and it could work for you. It could. It's not meant for everybody, but it could work for you. So let's go ahead and, let me share this out to our friends over at Budget School. Maybe they can come over and play around with this. And let me know how you're doing this morning. How are you? Are you feeling perky this morning? I feel like I am about 3 weeks slow right now. Oh my gosh. And I woke up this morning and I did my exercises and it was the saddest thing you've ever seen on a treadmill this morning. It was pretty sad. Low key. Heather's saying is getting to me too. Low key and in need of caffeine. Okay. It's not just me. I sometimes feel like I kind of tune in with the weather and I can just tell that the weather is changing. And that's cool because I am like completely ready for it. But and it's getting darker outside. So I have actually officially stopped doing my early morning walks because it's too dark for me to go outside. That is really sad. So until next summer. All right. I'm firing really slow right now. So that's why I am wasting time trying to share this at the moment. All right, we're about to get there. All right, for those of you, if I'm showing up in your feed, you're wondering why this girl is taking way too long to get this party started. I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. Now, I come to you live every morning, and I'm not prepared. I come to you live every morning and answer any questions you have about business, budgeting, and solo entrepreneurship. And I just knocked my camera down. See, that lets you know what kind of day I'm having. So I answer any questions you have about business, budgeting, and solo entrepreneurship. And of course, I give you tons of unsolicited advice. And I am a hot mess this morning. I need to just stop touching things. I feel like I'm just a hot mess this morning. So I'm getting there, y'all. I'm getting there. I am getting there very slowly. Now on the show, we talk a lot about managing both sides of the budget. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? We talk about managing both sides of the budget, and there are two sides of it. You got to be able to manage the budget and you have to be able to feed the budget. And on Tuesdays, I take a little bit of time to talk about speaking. It's one of the ways I have fed my budget. And I like to give the tips to those who consider themselves speakers, who are speakers, or who are thinking about speaking. And so today we're going to talk about this. One of the things that I've noticed a lot when it comes to speakers, and that is when they come to me, they say they just cannot find speaking gigs. And I'm one of those. There are speaking gigs everywhere. And so we're going to talk about a few things that I have noticed when it comes to speakers, especially around finding gigs. And sometimes it's just being straight up scared. So we're going to talk about that. Hey, Beatrice, how are you doing this morning? All right. Of course, I got to give some love over to my folks at podcast websites. They are doing amazing things. And if you are thinking about launching your podcast and getting your podcast in the hands of speaker coordinators, all you have to do is go over to keepupmrsjones.com/podcast websites. And I know I sound like a walking advertisement. It's so amazing. I've been practicing this a lot. I am coming to you live here over on Instagram and Facebook. And for Instagram, I am firing very slow this morning. But let's go ahead and jump into this topic. And before we do that, for those of you, I do Jumpstart consulting sessions. If you are needing help with getting more speaking gigs or figuring out how to find them, I want to help you. All you have to do is book a session with me. All you got to do is go to that blue button over at facebook.com/keepupmrsjones, click book now, You and I, 45 minutes, and we can nail it out. It is so much fun for me. Did a session with Heather. It's been a couple of weeks, but it was a lot of fun. I think Heather had like 4 pages worth of notes. So that's what I like to do. I like to give you my brain and help you as much as I can. For those of you on Instagram, all you have to do is go click the link in the bio. All right, let's go ahead and get started on this. Help, I cannot find speaking gigs. Now, one of the things that gets in the way of a lot of speakers, and it has gotten in my way as well, and that is just being straight out, flat out scared. I had a friend who reached out to me the other day. And she was just like, hey, this place is asking for this. I don't have this. I only have this. And then she also did another post where she said, I'm just sitting here and I was supposed to apply to these gigs and I just can't. And what it really made me realize is that she's no different than me, no different than you. We know what we need to do. And she said, Phylecia, I know you're going to say you just don't want to do the work. Whereas sometimes I have to acknowledge that sometimes the work we need to do is cloaked in a veil of fear. When you are starting to like upgrade, up level where you are, go after speaking gigs, and you start going through these applications or you start having to pitch, what happens is that a lot of us, we start getting really scared and questioning our expertise. Now, I told my friend, I said, you know what? Don't worry about they only want specific things. You can't lie. Just tell them what you have done and go from there, move on to the next one. But it's that little veil of fear that we get caught in. And it happens to me. I'll be straight up honest. It happens to me a lot when I'm going after certain gigs and it's like, I'm not even qualified. But then something else clicks. I said, you know what? You got nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, what? They're going to say yes. And you have to show up. So I really want to talk about the fear aspect of finding speaking gigs, because a lot of it is, I always get very hard on you. I say, you know what, sometimes you just don't want to do the work. But sometimes when I say you just don't want it, it's cloaked in this fear, not willing to put yourself out there, not willing to invest. And I get it. So I don't have any magic words when it comes to fear. All I can say is, you know what you're good at. You know you are an expert. Stop being afraid. Seriously, stop being afraid and just go for it. Nobody's going to hurt you. No one's going to criticize you. What? Worst case scenario, you get a no. All right. And you apply again. And that's what happens with a lot of us, is that when we are stepping out and looking for speaking gigs, we start applying, then we get like rejected like 3 times. And then all of a sudden, oh gosh, I'm just not a good speaker. I don't know what I'm doing. And oh my gosh, stop it. If I could show you the number of times I have been rejected. Hey, Dawn, how you doing? If I could show you the number of times I've been rejected, it will humble you, okay? Now, I haven't been rejected that many times, but no, seriously. Rejection comes with this. Rejection comes with this, and you're gonna have to be okay with it, all right? You're gonna have to be okay and just keep moving. I heard a thing that Mark Ruffalo, he is the guy who plays Hulk in the Avengers movies, and you know, he's done a couple of rom-coms and things like that. And they said he has he auditioned like almost 300 times before someone gave him a yes. That's the thing. I was a dancer, baton twirler. You got to go through so many no's before you get a yes, and you can't let those no's get in your way, and you can't let the no's say that you're not an expert. At this point, you may not just be right at that time. And you know, I've told you deals with speaker coordinators, they probably booked all their friends. It's okay. Now you got to become their friend. So that's one of the things I want to talk about when it comes to not being able to find speaking gigs, is that you might be in a place of fear. Remember, you are good at what you do. You know what you know how to do it. Sometimes you may not know exactly how to pitch. That's fine. But you are the expert, and you should always remember that. All right. Always remember that. Now, hey, Miss Vita over on Instagram. How you doing? All right. So, and also I want to get through some like really technical things, because I know how to give you the step by step on when you can't find speaking gigs, but I really needed to address that. And I'm going to address it again. But I want to give you 5 things that you can walk away with right now. Ooh, say that like 6 times. So that hey, Prep for College over on Instagram, how you doing? I want to give you 5 things that you can do right now if you keep saying that, help, I can't find speaking gigs. All right. So get a pen and paper, write this down. For those of you who are just listening to me while you're watching, this will be on the podcast. It will be uploaded within an hour, so you could take me with you. All right. And please forgive me. I am firing about 60% because this girl is tired and the weather is kicking my butt right now. So if you cannot find speaking gigs, here's the first thing you need to do. Decide if you want to be a speaker or not. And I know it's just like, oh, Phylecia, that's so silly. But no, seriously, there are a lot of people who feel they should be speakers. There are a lot of people who are being pushed to be speakers. And there are a lot of people who kind of want it, but don't really want it. At this exact moment, I need for you to decide. I need for you to decide if you want to speak. And I need for you to decide what kind of speaker you want to be. All right, here's the thing. We're all big boys and big girls here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. You don't have to do anything you don't want. And being honest, if you don't want to be a speaker, it's okay. Because there's a lot of hard work. If you want to go be professional, you want to get on big stages, you are about to sign your butt up for probably one of the most intense experiences of your life. And I know I make it sound like really hard, but it depends on what kind of speaker you want to be. I know people who want to be like Mel Robbins and have arenas. Oh, you better get ready to seriously work your butt off. Then I also know some speakers who I just want to go down to the local chamber of commerce. All right, decide. The first thing you need to do is decide if you want to be a speaker and decide if you are willing to do the work. Oh, I'm great. Thank you. Seriously, decide if you are willing to do the work, because it's going to be work. You cannot hire this out and no one can make magic happen for you, but you're going to have to do the work. Okay. The second thing is address the fear. Address the fear. When you decide to become a speaker, you are basically joining the ranks of all the other people who are in entertainment or forward-facing businesses. And I know it's going to be like, well, how is this like entertainment? Because some of you might be entertaining speakers. But seriously, you are signing yourself up to be judged by other people. You are signing yourself up to be subjected by other people's tastes. This is where you have to be okay with being rejected. If you cannot handle rejection like this may not be the right path for you, because you will be rejected. I don't know if you're going to be heckled or booed off stage. Hopefully that won't happen, but you will be rejected and you're going to have to figure it out and you're going to have to move through it and work through it. So you got to address the fear. Okay. First, decide if you want to be a speaker, decide if you want this or not. Two, address the fear, because it's going to pop up every time and you're going to have to be able to work through it and keep moving. The third thing is you need to make room on your calendar. Now, here's the surprising thing when I meet people who say they want to be speakers or they want to get more speaking gigs, is that they make no effort and no time to actually go and research and find the gigs. You got to make room on your calendar, okay? If you're only giving yourself 1 hour a week, you're probably not going to find many speaking gigs. I have told you many times that I set aside Wednesday, 8 hours all day looking for gigs. Now I'm about to go up and do like 3 days of looking, but you're going to have to set time aside. You have to make room in your calendar and make it part of your life. If you come to me and say, well, I only can give 1 hour to this. Hey, Rachel, how you doing? Guess what? You're probably not going to get many gigs. I don't have a cute saying that if you only do 1 hour work, you only get 1 hour benefit. Yeah, that'll be it. But you got to make time for it. Okay. If you are looking for gigs every now and then, you're going to be an every now and then speaker. And if you are an every now and then speaker, that means you've made a choice not to go for the big stages. And it's so funny. A lot of people say, I want to go on the big stages, but I don't want to do all the work. It doesn't really work that way. If you want $1 million company, you got to put in the work to have $1 million company. If you only show up 4 hours once a week, you're not going to make $1 million unless somebody's dead, unless you marry into somebody with $1 million. All right. So you need to make room on your calendar. I have my notes here from looking down. You need to make room on your calendar and you need to stick with it and be consistent with it. Okay. Number 4, start researching and pitching. Just start. Stop getting all this stuff out of your way. I did a class. I did 3 classes called Build Lasting Authority on a $0 Budget. And these were 6-hour classes where I gave away everything, every last darn thing, so that you can go and get speaking gigs. I gave people where to look, who to look, gave them things, all the things. And I made them sit there in the class for 3 hours and find organizations. And it's amazing that out of those 3 classes, one person did some work. One. Hey, Twyla, how you doing? So if you're going to invest in it, do the work. Start researching, start pitching. Stop paying for trying to find miracles. Just do the work. For those of you who are coming in a little bit late, today we're answering help I cannot find speaking gigs. One of the things that I really started off with was the fear. That's what gets in a lot of our ways. And so I'm giving you some steps. So I'm going to go back through the steps again. And right now I am on number 4, where it's just start researching and start pitching. You got to get out there and do the work. And it has amazed me when I did that class, and I have talked to some of the people like, hey, what's the deal after the class? Did you go find some speaking gigs? Oh, no, I'm working on my website. I'm working on a book, maybe. I'm working on everything else. When you come and tell me that you need help finding speaking gigs, but then you give me every excuse in the world, that means we've gone back to step number 1. You've decided that you don't want to be a speaker. Ooh, I know that hurts. That hurts my heart to say that out loud. But when you say you want to do something and you do the opposite of it, it's hard for somebody to help you, and it's hard for someone to take you serious. So that's why I say the number 1 thing you need to do right now is decide if you're going to be a speaker or not, and decide if you want it. Because I know what a lot of you do. You will go and start investing in all these things. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing? You'll start investing in all these things, and now you still have no speaking gigs, but you spent a lot of money. So you need to just start researching and start pitching. Get off your butt and go do it. I know that's really harsh this morning. This is what happens when a tired person gets a microphone. All right. Number 5, commit and be consistent. Here are Twyla's 2 favorite words: commit and be consistent. That's it. You got to commit to this, and you got to be consistent with it. Like I said, if you are an every now and then searcher of gigs, you are an every now and then speaker, and very few people will probably take you serious unless you are a celebrity. Only celebrities can get away with that. If you're like me, you're just not a celebrity. So that means you got to sit here and do a lot of work. Okay. None of these gigs I have officially at this moment. I got to go do the official count. I have about 26 gigs on the calendar for this year. And there's one thing I will tell you. A lot of that stuff did not come from me just sitting on my butt. And that's what I want you to realize, that I'm not a celebrity. I'm not like people. There aren't people calling me and banging down my door for me to go speak. It's starting to happen. I get a few people every now and then that ask, but I still had to do 2 years worth of work to get to that point where I get 3 people to call and ask me. So 2 years for 3 people to ask. So I need to do like 5 years to get like 10 people to ask. You see what I mean? It's a lot of work. So let me go through these steps again. Hey, Maya, how you doing? So let me go through these steps again. If you are saying, help, I cannot find speaking gigs. 1, decide if you want this or not. Seriously, you're a big girl, you're a big boy. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I mean, seriously, that's the beauty of being an adult. You get to make choices. Yay! If you don't want it, don't do it. Do something else. There are many, 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 many ways to be successful in business. There are many ways to do it. You don't have to choose this route. And if you keep saying you want to do it, but you keep throwing excuses, like maybe it's not your thing. It's okay. Oh, Twyla saying I've worked my butt off and it's paid off for sure. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Twyla. That's sweet. So number 1, decide if you want this or not. And like, you can say no. My VA, and I always ask her, I play with her. And I was like, hey, Brittany, you want to speak? She's like, nope. I was like, you sure you get a nope? I said, you sure I can find you a stage? She's like, nope. She is very clear that she is no. Oh, yeah, I am tired too. I'm firing at like 60% right now. All right. Number one, decide if you want it or not. Number two, address the fear. What gets in the way of a lot of us finding speaking gigs is that we get scared. We start questioning our expertise. We start questioning if we're the right person. We start questioning everything. Stop questioning. Just stop. The fear is going to hold you back a lot more than all the other excuses that you put up. Okay. So address the fear and understand that the fear will happen. Happens to me all the time. I'm about to go through to another level of looking for speaking gigs. Yeah, heck yes, I am scared. Hey, Nicole. Nicole is one of the keynote speakers at the Polka Dot Powerhouse celebration. So I will be there. So excited to see you do your thing, girl. So when you are going to this next level, you will get scared. And it's very easy to stay comfortable in your zone. It's very easy. But if you want to go to the next level, the fear will be there and you're going to have to deal with it. Okay. Number three, make room on your calendar. Seriously. If you want gigs, you're going to have to make room for it. You're going to have to make room. There are so many people who want speaking gigs, but won't make the time to go find them. If you're only spending an hour to look for gigs, you're probably not going to find any gigs. At the minimum, I do 8 hours a week at the minimum. For this next thing, we're actually doing all the processes. I think this is about to turn into about, oh my gosh, so about 24 hours total of actually searching and pitching for gigs. This is what I'm about to do. You don't have to do me, but I've started, I've said that this is what my career will be. All right. Hey, Nicole. Nicole saying she's scared. Girl, you're not scared. You'll be okay. You will be amazingly great on stage. What time are you speaking? Are you early morning or are you the evening? All right. So far, number one, decide if you want to do this. 2, address the fear. 3, make room on your calendar. If you don't make room to go look for gigs, you will not get gigs. Just like with clients, if you don't make room to go find the clients, you will not get any. If you don't make room to tell people you have a business, you won't have a business. Remember that. Okay. Remember, speaking is now part of your business, not something you do as a side hustle. Oh, Nicole has the last talk on Saturday. That means you have more room to have more fun, Nicole. It's going to be great. All right. Number 4, start researching and pitching. Just start. The longer you wait to research and pitch, the longer you won't get gigs. The longer you keep putting up excuses as I need to go do this, the longer you won't have gigs. I've told you about friends who said they went and started researching and took 8 months, and that was 8 months of him not getting speaking gigs. Okay? Start. Just start where you are. And number 5, commit and be consistent. That's it. I mean, you're the one who decided to run a business. You're the one who decided to jump into this. You are the one who made the decision that you want to be a speaker. Commit to it and be consistent. Just commit to it. And that's all I'm asking. Not much more. And my voice is going out right now. But just commit to this and actually just go and do it. You'll be surprised when you make the commitment, things happen. So that's all I have for you. So 1, decide if you want it. 2, address the fear. 3, make room on your calendar. 4, start researching and pitching. 5, commit and be consistent. I know it's a very simple show. I know it's not a lot of excitement here because, oh my gosh, I am tired. I am so tired. Seriously, consistency twice this morning. Oh, Twyla, consistency is my middle name right now. And it needs to be yours as well. Consistency and commitment. For all of you who always reach out to me, I get the messages on the weekends and middle of the night, help, I cannot find speaking gigs. Some of these things that you're doing, some of these things that we talked about are the things that are getting in your way. One of the biggest ones is the fear. And I want you to really address the fear because what my mentors say, for every level, a new devil. And sometimes the devil is going to be you fighting yourself, just being scared. And yes, you've decided to make a scary decision, but go for it. And the other thing is just decide if you want to do this. There are too many people trying to be speakers that don't want to be. Don't do what you don't want to do, okay? But I really want you to be successful. Honestly, I really want you to be successful. I want you to get the gigs that you want. But I also know that you need to focus on it. It's no different than anything else in your business. If this is something you want, you're going to have to make room to go out and get it. It is not magically going to happen. It's not going to just fall in your lap unless you are Oprah. She's the only one where speaking gigs fall in her lap. She can wake up and just decide. Oprah is the only one who can go on Instagram and say, I think I want to speak for 10 organizations tomorrow. She'll probably have 1 million people that will send her a bunch of gigs. Us, not really. I see it all the time. I see friends who post, I want to have 10 speaking gigs by the end of the month. And nobody reaches out to them because we're not celebrities. Guess what? I know asking, I always say you got to ask, but that means you got to get off your butt and ask. Social media is not going to do it for you, okay? So you're going to have to put in the work to go get what you want. And yeah, it's going to be scary. Oh, is it scary? Will you be rejected? Oh, heck yes. Will somebody say, get away from me? Probably. Will somebody say, we don't like your talk? Yeah, maybe. And you got to roll with it and keep going. That's it. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment box. I'm going to be wrapping up a little bit soon. So I have today I'm working with my client. I find speaking gigs for her, and I just had an epiphany of how we're going to pitch so that she can get more gigs. So excited about that. If I can help you find gigs, all you need to do is go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart. These are fun sessions for me because I get to just dump my brain and help you decide where to focus. So if I can help you in any way, please let me know. One of the beautiful things that I have benefited from being a speaker is I get to meet so many people, and I meet a lot of people who have stages and who kind of trust me when I recommend speakers for them. So it's been a lot of fun. And then, of course, I'm a speaker coordinator, so I know the other side of the game as well. And Twyla saying, yeah, you get a lot of no's, but the yeses will be worth it all. Yes, you will get quite a few no's, but the yeses will be worth it. So we got to make sure you have everything in your power to get out there and get the gigs that you want. Now, I know, like I said, this is a budgeting show, but this is just one piece on Tuesdays that I just want to talk to those who are speakers. And if you're needing ways to market your business, this is the one way. I'll be just straight up honest. This is probably the only way I really know and know how to work. All of the other things like social media, nope, not your girl. I do know how to work this one. And so this may not be for you, but just read in between the lines and realize that no matter what, if you're going after new clients, if you're going after corporate clients, all the foundational things are the same. Address the fear, commit to it, decide if you want to do it, go for it and make room. I mean, I can turn this into how to get clients, how to do a sales funnel, how to get on social media. I just want you to have the nuts and bolts that will help you be successful. And, at least I can say that I tried my best to help you. So I hope you have an amazing day. Let me sign off here on Instagram first. So for those of you on Instagram, thank you so very much. And for putting up with my slowness and sleepiness and tiredness right now. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. What are we talking about tomorrow? I should remember to do this. Oh, the 3 game-changing reasons why your numbers are important. Ooh, I'm going to make sure I have I wish I did coffee, but I'm going to make sure I have some caffeine tomorrow. The 3 game-changing reasons why your numbers are important. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So for those of you on Instagram, take care. Happy budgeting. For those of you who are still here on Facebook, I appreciate every last one of you. If I can help you in any way, I'm here for you. For those of you who are on the email list, the email went out. I know I'm pretty late on that. I'm sorry. But the email went out this morning with the link to the Friday class, 9 a.m. Friday, how to land your next 5 speaking gigs absolutely free. You're going to get a taste of what I do in my classes. And you better bring your pen and paper because it's only one time. After that, there's going to be a price tag on it. I know. I'm so excited about it. All right. So I will have coffee for you today. Unfortunately, Joseph, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. So there you go. Oh, I don't know what else I need. So, all right. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. The 3 game-changing reasons why your numbers are important. And for those of you who are on the podcast week email list, you got your invitation this morning. I think it went out at 7:45 a.m. Mountain Time. You'll know where you need to be at 9 a.m. on Friday. I'm so excited about this class. Take care. Happy budgeting. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Bye.